Happy Friday, everybody. It's Suerenity, and today I want to talk about Dr. Phil's book, Life Code. Now, I haven't gotten the book yet. I really want it. It just came on the market a few weeks ago, and this book is a godsend. I am thankful that he wrote this book, and I'm going to get it as soon as I can. But I have been on the internet doing some research about certain topics in the book, and he kind of explains everything that we've been seeing and that I've been experiencing in full detail about the types of people, the negative people, I should say, that seem to come into our lives too often, I feel like. And he breaks down ways of spotting them and how to deal with them. Now, I did a post already on negative people. However, this post that I did went into details of negative people, people who just had anger on the inside or hurt within themselves. But Dr. Phil's Evil 8 deals with just that. Evil people who deliberately go out of their way to sabotage others' interests to get what they want. Now, the first of those 8 characteristics is that these people tend to have such an arrogant entitlement. And when you see people like that, it's hard for you to understand, but for some reason these people stick out their chest and they feel like the world owes them something. They feel like, whatever it is that they may want, they're going to get it regardless. Like, what's his name? The guy from the movie Paid in Full. Like, I'm going to eat regardless. Like, he doesn't care who he has to hurt, who he has to step on. He's going to get what it is that he wants. And when they don't get it, they throw a hissy fit. They carry on worse than a baby. If you take their bottle. It's crazy. I mean, sometimes I can use the example of guys who feel like they can get any woman they want. Some of them know you're married, some of them know you're with someone, you have a significant other. But does that stop them? No, it doesn't. There was an incident where this guy, just a couple of years ago, he saw me from afar, and after I was just doing my own thing, talking with my co-workers and stuff, and getting ready to go buy something to eat for lunch. This guy was staring me down, for the longest, and I'm like, why is he looking at me like this? Why? In the most perverted way, like he was visually taking my clothes off in his head. So I'm like, okay, whatever, just ignore it and it'll go away. It didn't go away, so my coworker ended up going to another restaurant to get something to eat. I went the opposite direction, having to pass him. So as I approached, the look got more intense, and he's like, I'm like, okay, whatever, just ignore it. I'm going past, and he's like, damn, like I'm a piece of meat or something. I'm like, what the hell? So, being the expressive person that I am, like, can I help you? I didn't say those words, but the look in my eye was obvious what I thought. So he comes up, jumps off the stool, comes walking up to me, staring me up and down and forcing himself in front of me. So I'm like, backing away. I'm trying to go my way without saying anything because I don't want to entice him any further. So he's like, dark chocolate, solid. So I'm like, excuse me, please. Can you get out of my way? And He's like, they call me boy. They call me boy or beau or something like that. And you are. And he's looking at me, I'm like, not interested. What did I say that for? I got, because clearly his intentions were not right intentions. He could see the ring on my finger, and he continued to pursue me. And so when I finally insulted him, his feelings were crushed, and this man called me the most foul words in the book. I mean, everything but a child of God. And I just kept walking because I expected it, and that's, for some reason, that's the way guys act in the Bahamas towards girls, like especially girls who seem confident, who are fixed nicely and like don't really pay them attention, like they just got out of prison. They feel like anything with a hole, they gotta run behind it and like act like they're starving. Like, it's ridiculous. So anyway, that's my example on arrogant entitlement. They feel like you owe them something, like they can get whatever it is that they want. Clearly this guy felt like he could get any woman he wanted. Not me. The next characteristic is they lack empathy. Now, this is something most of them do, lack empathy. They would be referred to as cold in most instances, some ice cold, in fact. They feel like it's their way or no way at all. There's no in between, there's no gray. They want it their way, and they feel like they're gonna do anything to get it their way. They lack understanding. Feels like they can't understand, but in my book, that's just a ploy so that you excuse their behavior. They do this so that, and like I said in another post, living up to a certain label, a certain title that people have given them, they feel like their behavior is excusable, and so they don't have to be understanding. That's just them. Usually, you will find that they hardly ever say they're sorry, hardly apologize for anything, and if they do, you know you can't trust it. It's like they do it just to kind of get in your good books, to get something else. It's for an ulterior motive. The next trait is they don't have remorse or guilt. I feel like chances are, if they don't have empathy, they're lacking in that area, they're definitely not going to have the capacity to feel remorseful for their actions or guilty. And I know someone who actually continuously aggravates people and does things that he knows is against sometimes even the rights of others. But when he does it and everyone else shows him that this is wrong, you're not supposed to do that to a person, or, especially those who can't defend themselves in a lower position, they'll say, well, oh, I just don't think about it, or you just don't think about it. This is very sad because these people, the pain that they've caused in so many people's lives has taught them to disassociate themselves from their behavior, to disconnect from it, to just act like it never happened and move on. This makes me feel sad and sorry for them, because how are you ever going to change if you don't acknowledge that something's wrong? That's just the way they are. There's a guy, I can't remember his name, on VH1's Couples Therapy, the one with Flavor Flav on it. But this guy, this white guy, him and his girlfriend are there for therapy, and this guy did, in the past, gay porn. Now, he says that he's not gay. How is this possible? How did you do that physically, sexually to someone or with someone of the same sex or have them do it to you, or orally, or whatever it is, and you're not gay? Really? But like I said, it's sad because this guy has disconnected himself so much from his feelings that it seems like he'll do anything at this point, I guess, just for a couple of dollars or whatever the payoff is. And he's like, afterward, they can go and say, let's go have a steak. You want to have your steak and eat it too? Really? It's you. So they find a way to justify their own actions. This keeps them from feeling remorseful. The next trait here is they are usually irresponsible and destructive. This is basically recklessness. They're reckless souls. And I think it's due to the disconnect, the level of disconnect that they have, that they've removed themselves from, holding themselves accountable for anything. They do anything they feel like to kind of kill the pain on the inside. And this is the way they're able. This helps them to disconnect even further, because they've caused so much pain for others that they feel like subconsciously like they're the bad guy, and they deserve whatever consequences come from their reckless behavior, whether it be becoming an alcoholic, becoming an addict, becoming a womanizer, becoming a pimp, whatever it is. A lot of them become abusers. They, it's so many different ways that people are irresponsible and reckless with themselves. And sometimes when you see this, it's sad because they're inflicting this pain on themselves because of what they're doing to other people. And like someone said, whatever you do to others, you're also doing to yourself. And in such a weird way, they also hurt themselves. So I feel like sometimes a lot of them just lost control. They just disconnected so much that they lost control of themselves, or sometimes even given up on themselves. The fifth trait is that they thrive on drama. They thrive on drama. How could you be so cold? How could you be reckless and irresponsible and not get used to a drama-filled life? Your life is going to be filled with drama. In fact, you're going to invite drama. You love drama. It makes you feel alive. It's, showing you that, hey, I'm doing something right. Sometimes if you don't feel right unless you're pissing someone else off, or, raining on someone else's parade. That's just what they do. Like Vin Diesel said, I live for this shit. They live for this. This is them. This is this what gets their blood flowing, so to speak. And then sometimes people aren't really intimidated by them. Some people are onto them, and so they don't fear them. And this is where a lot of other drama comes in, and inevitably comes in, because some people are not going to stand for and tolerate their behavior. And they don't like that, so it's going to clash. Sometimes they provoke it. Most of the times they provoke it. The next trait is that they brag about outsmarting others. This is a funny one because we know that whatever takes place in the dark will come out in the light. And usually these people give themselves away so much they don't even realize it. Like, I knew a guy who I thought was a very nice guy, a very respectable guy. Thought he was very easy to get along with, nice and sociable, fun-loving, easygoing. And so after I got to know him a little bit more, he used to tell me these things, I felt so sad, like wondering why so many people mistreated him like this. Why is this good guy being treated like an animal, like a criminal? What's wrong? It's like people like I look at other people as being the bad people, when in fact this guy actually was the bad guy. After, you would be surprised how much people will tell you if you just listen, if you stop talking sometimes and just listen. They feel like they can trust you. And I learned so much in a short period of time. This guy started saying things that shocked me, like how he stole from people, how good he is. He used to say how clever he was, that people used to trust him, and that he just has to flash a smile and people trusted him. Like he stole from people closest to him, like people who would never expect him to do it. And like he felt so proud that he got away with it because he's just that good. Like then I realized that this is why people treat you like this, because you're a con artist, you're a fraud, you're, oh my gosh, you're a lying, manipulative, conniving con artist, a crook, so to speak. And I mean, it was just horrible, the things that he told me, like about, beside the stealing and stuff like that, I mean, on many occasions, running away from his family, from his wife. I mean, kicking his pregnant girlfriend out because they had an argument. I mean, the things that I heard were just awful, and I'm like, what type of person are you? You're nothing like what I thought you were. And I realized that people who are so charming sometimes, that's their way of gaining your trust. That's you know, that's the only way they gain your trust, by making you feel comfortable with them. Sometimes they use a lot of terms of endearment. They'll say, hey baby, mind you, you're a strange person to them, you know. They just may work with you or something. They're like, hey beautiful, or like, how are you this morning, lovely? I know how to take a compliment, but sometimes some people make you feel very uneasy based on what I've experienced, because when I see that now, it's like no way you can be in this upbeat, jolly, frisky, perky mood every single day of your life. And sometimes everyone is not so beautiful to look at, or so, you know. So how could you go from one desk calling me beautiful and go to the other desk and say, hey, beautiful? Really? You're up to something. Oops. So this is their tactic. This is their tactic, and afterward they feel confident. They brag about their skills, so to speak. The next trait is they have a lot of short-term relationships. This is a clear sign that they can't stay in one place very long. You can only lie and cheat people for so long until people catch on to you and kick you to the curb. Or until you feel like someone's caught on to you, and so you run away and go to the next victim. Sometimes they have a long history of like switching jobs or moving around different cities, different places. They can't stay in one place for any extended period of time because, like a rolling stone, they don't want to gather moss. They don't want their lies and schemes to catch up with them. And like I said before, a zebra cannot hide its stripes, okay? Number 8, the last one on the list, is that they live in a fantasy world or are delusional. They think they are the king of the world. They think everyone is their subservient or minions, or like whatever they may call it. They feel like they're superior to other people. This is one of the clearest signs, the biggest signs. And it may seem very silly to you when they do it or when they act a certain way, but their entitlement, the entitlement from the beginning of the list, allows them to feel like they deserve whatever it is that they want. And most of the time, they are going to do anything to get it. They don't do things that benefit other people. They do it to benefit themselves, their ego, whatever it is that they want, they're going to get it. And you'd call them megalomaniacs, if you will. Like Pinky in the Brain or Sheldon Plankton. They don't care. They want it. And they're going to get it. Now, I have down here talking about the nefarious 15. These are the ways that they use to become successful at their schemes. They work their way into your life with superficial charm. They gain your trust and approval by lying and getting your sympathy for them. They also blame others for the way their life is going as a way of misdirecting your focus on someone else as being the bad guy. They're two-faced, and so they'll tell you one thing and then go and tell someone else something completely different. Since they know that they're dishonest all of the time, they're very paranoid, and they always seem to be on the defense. Some passive-aggressive. Yes. And if they're allowed any type of position of authority, they most certainly will abuse it, because in their minds, it's now or never. If you know people like this, stay on your guard. And I know quite a few people like this. I thank you, Dr. Phil, for this book, because more people in the world need to learn how to spot and deal with these types of people. And we'll have a better world. So that's my post for now. And I want to come back a little later. I usually try to do a post one a day, but I think I'm going to do another one today because there's another topic that I want to just get off my chest. I wanted to do something kind of positive today, so I will. But this is something I feel, because of the things that happened to me in my past, I felt like it was imperative for me to get this off of my chest. This is very important, and I hope it helps someone today to recognize the evil 8 in their lives. So until later, like I said, TGIF, and I'll be back. Bye.